Li Cheng tossed all the ingredients for the unifying pill into the tripod in one go. This was the unifying pill that could help one step into the Mahayana realm. In Li Cheng's hands, it actually had no difference from that low-level nascent soul-breaking pill. It seemed that everyone had already grown accustomed to being shocked. At this moment, they all stared wide-eyed, dying to not miss any part of the process. But Li Cheng's movements were simply too fast. In just a few dozen breaths, he had already produced 12 unifying pills. This feeling was as if he had already placed the unifying pills in the tripod beforehand, and the extra movements were just for show. The arena remained silent, as Li Cheng had finished checking the materials for the Tribulation Crossing pill and tossed them in as well. There was no difference from the spirit pills he had refined before. In just a few dozen breaths, the Tribulation Crossing pills were ready. After taking out the Tribulation Crossing pills, Li Cheng was somewhat puzzled. Just how strong had his true fire become? It could even make the 7th grade spirit medicine as easy to smelt as the 3rd grade ones, without any distinction. Then what about the 8th grade spirit medicine? Looking at the ingredients for the responding to calamity pill, most of them were 8th grade spirit medicine, emitting fluctuations of spiritual energy far surpassing that of the 7th grade. The higher the grade of spirit medicine, the more difficult it was to refine. With a bit of anticipation, Li Cheng enveloped the ingredients with his spiritual sense and tossed them all into the pill tripod. As the true fire surged, Li Cheng was astonished to find that there was still no difference. Even with the 8th grade spirit medicine, it was refined with ease. In just a few dozen breaths, the responding to calamity pill was completed. Although I'm only at the level of a 7th grade pill master, with the enhancement of the true fire by the rule of fire and the accurate pill recipe, the 8th grade spirit pill can also be easily made. Li Cheng murmured to himself as he looked towards the 7th elder. The 7th elder was still focused on refining the nascent soul-breaking pill and had not even completed refining the 1st spirit medicine. Glancing over, Li Cheng suddenly realized that the arena was unusually quiet. Wasn't it? Turning his head around, he saw that everyone was stupefied. With a variety of vivid expressions frozen on their faces, it seemed that Li Cheng's gaze had jolted them back to reality, and the crowd finally snapped out of it. Whoosh! The next moment, the crowd erupted, with exclamations ringing out incessantly. The square seemed to instantly turn into a marketplace, everyone excitedly exclaiming, completely forgetting that the 7th elder was still in the midst of alchemy. The 7th elder had just refined the 1st spirit medicine and was awakened by the noisy exclamations, frowning immediately. What's all this racket? 7th elder, stop your alchemy for a moment and look at the junior sect uncle. The sect master transmitted. The 7th elder frowned and looked towards Li Cheng. When he saw the 12 responding to calamity pills floating in front of Li Cheng, his eyelids twitched. These freshly made responding to calamity pills. Junior sect uncle, did you refine them? The 7th elder's eyes widened, his expression akin to seeing a ghost. I've just refined the 1st type of spirit medicine for the nascent soul-breaking pill, and the junior sect uncle has already made a batch of responding to calamity pills. Did I just fall asleep? 7th elder, while you were refining pills, the junior sect uncle already went from refining the nascent soul-breaking pills to the responding to calamity pills, all of the highest quality. The 1st elder spoke. The 7th elder doubted his own ears, looking incredulously at the 1st elder and then at Li Cheng. Only when the nearby pill child brought over all the freshly made spirit pills did the 7th elder realize that he hadn't heard wrong. Is this possible? What did I miss? The 7th elder looked dazed, muttering to himself. The junior sect uncle went from being enlightened as a 6th grade pill master to become an 8th grade in 3 days, and the speed of refining pills was astonishing. How could this be so surreal? The 7th elder seriously wondered if he was dreaming. By Tie, I suddenly feel that we should put off talking about ascension for now and have him pass down his pill skill first. Spiritual consciousness fluctuation appeared once again. Li Cheng pretended not to know. After a long while, the 7th elder finally faced reality and spoke earnestly. Little martial uncle, I don't know which pill child from my disciples has caught your eye. Don't mention one pill child. Even if you wanted everyone from my 7th peak, I wouldn't blink an eye before giving them all to you. He paused. Then for once, a smile appeared on the 17th elder's face as he said, including myself. The higher-ups in the sect had long been aware that Li Cheng had taken an interest in a certain pill child from the seventh peak, but the common disciples were clueless. At this moment, upon hearing these words, all the disciples became ecstatic. The 18th elder is not only extraordinarily strong in cultivation, but also unparalleled in pill skill. If I could be accepted as his disciple, I would gladly do anything. Such fortune would only happen if your ancestral grave was belching blue smoke. The seventh elder mentioned pill children. We are intersect disciples, not pill children, so it seems we're out of luck. Li Cheng bowed his hands toward the 17th elder. 17th elder jests. One is enough? How could I dare ask for more? As he spoke, Li Cheng's gaze shifted to the crowd. The crowd immediately tensed up. Who might it be? If chosen, that person would soar to the heavens. Even a smattering of that transcendent pill skill would be infinitely beneficial. Among the crowd, a large green arrow pointed straight at a 15 or 16-year-old youth, who looked nervous but expectant. Li Cheng raised his eyebrows. What's going on? Wasn't it a 15 or 16-year-old girl? How had it turned into a youth? A disguise. Transformation? His spiritual sense swept over but detected no disguise. Even the life essence remained the same as before. Li Cheng puzzled. The life essence is the same, meaning it's the same person. But how did the same person change from a girl to a boy? Following Li Cheng's gaze, the seventh elder's expression suddenly became unnatural, but he did not speak in haste. The youth grew even more nervous, not daring to meet Li Cheng's eyes, and quickly lowered his head. What's his name? He has a fate with me, Li Cheng suddenly said, turning his gaze toward the seventh elder. The seventh elder, knowing Li Cheng intended to take the pill child as his disciple, seemed somewhat troubled. He coughed dryly and awkwardly said, Little martial uncle, may I speak with you privately for a moment? So mysterious? Li Cheng looked at the seventh elder and then nodded. The seventh elder led the way, flying towards the peak of the seventh peak, and soon, both of them landed on the summit. His name is Ling Shi. Are you planning to take her as your disciple? The seventh elder asked nervously as soon as they landed. Li Cheng nodded doubtfully. Seventh elder has something to say. Please speak freely. The seventh elder bowed in respect. If little martial uncle wishes to take her as your disciple, it is her good fortune, but please, do your best to keep her safe. My disciple naturally will be well protected, but why does the seventh elder say this? Li Cheng was even more confused, because she comes from the Yin and Yang spirit clan. Upon hearing this, Li Cheng's brow jerked up, and he quickly asked, How many people know about this? Only I do. Li Cheng breathed a sigh of relief. The seventh elder has done well. If this news were to leak, our sect would face a catastrophe. Pausing, Li Cheng said, Rest assured, my true disciple, no matter what, I will not let anything happen to her. The seventh elder nodded. He had kept this secret for many years, and the burden was immense. Now that he had confided it to the little martial uncle, he could be at ease. Li Cheng's gaze returned to the foot of the mountain, murmuring to himself, The Yin and Yang spirit clan, there are still descendants in the world. I've stumbled upon a treasure. Li Cheng was secretly delighted. Having taken in a disciple from the Yin and Yang spirit clan really was like finding a treasure. Since the Yin and Yang spirit clan were naturally born spiritual beings, created along with heaven and earth, they possessed an innate advantage in comprehending the Dao. Li Cheng realized. No wonder the girl had turned into a boy. It was because, before reaching adulthood, members of the Yin and Yang spirit clan could change their gender at will. That day, when Li Cheng found her, she was alone, probably having changed back into a female to indulge in her vanity. Today, with so many people present, she had changed into a male. Upon reaching adulthood, their gender would become fixed, and there was a high chance they would awaken special physical constitutions. Even without a special constitution, they were naturally very close to the laws of heaven and earth, making it extremely easy for them to comprehend the Tao. However, it was precisely such advantages that led countless cultivators to want to seize their bodies or talents, which nearly resulted in the extermination of the Yin and Yang spirit clan. If word got out that the Heavenly Mechanism sect had a member of the Yin and Yang spirit clan, without a doubt, countless old monsters would come fighting for them, bringing disaster to the sect. She usually appears as a male, right? Li Cheng asked. The seventh elder nodded. That's right. This little girl joined our sect as a male, probably to protect herself. But once she reaches adulthood, she can no longer appear as a male. If someone observant took notice, it would be easy to expose her. Li Cheng pondered for a moment before saying, Then we can only release news that I've changed my mind and am not taking disciples after all, and then you can arrange for her male identity to die. As soon as he said this, the seventh elder understood. That had been his plan as well. Feign death to deceive the other disciples, then reappear in her true gender. That's quite simple. Every day in our sect we have no idea how many disciples fall. One more won't attract much attention. I'll take care of it immediately, the seventh elder said. How many days will it take? Asked Li Cheng, which was the crucial question. The sooner he took a disciple, the sooner he would earn enlightenment opportunities. If Junior Uncle Master is in a hurry, I can arrange for some disciples to go out today, and it can be done by tomorrow. As for the specifics, Li Cheng trusted that the seventh elder could easily handle it. He just needed to wait for his second disciple to come knocking. Just then, from afar in the sky, a mountain peak slowly approached. Li Cheng's eyes lit up. My mountain peak is coming. Thanks for your hard work, seventh elder. Having said that, Li Cheng flew towards the location of the 18 peaks to wait. Junior Uncle Master, weren't you interested in a certain pill child? Didn't bring them? Did the seventh elder play tricks? In a few moments, the sect master and the others caught up, asking doubtfully. Li Cheng shook his head. I changed my mind. Just now, upon looking again, I found we had no predestined connection. After hearing the answer, the sect master and the others felt even more conflicted. Take the disciple, and waste time, delaying ascension that don't take the disciple. But it would be such a pity that Junior Uncle Master's unmatched pill skill would be without an heir. That mountain peak is quite nice. The sixth elder really went through a lot of trouble. Li Cheng pointed to the distant mountain peak flying towards them, changing the subject. The mountain peak was rugged and beautiful, enveloped by formations. Below the mountain, the sixth elder personally supported it. The sixth elder has been complete in the fusion Dao stage for many years. If he could get a unifying pill, he would definitely step into the Mahayana realm with ease, and the tribulation crossing stage would be even closer, the first elder said with a smile. Li Cheng glanced at the first elder speechlessly. Wasn't it just a way of asking him to give out a unifying pill? By the way, sect master, I'm not taking any of the pills that were just made. You can deal with them, Li Cheng said. All eyes immediately lit up, and they all started making suggestive gestures at the sect master, as if to say, strike while the iron is hot. The sect master had the same plan and shamelessly said, Junior Uncle Master, the sect still has some materials for the breakthrough pills. I wonder if you could lend a hand. A few batches, huh? His second disciple wasn't ready to arrive, and he had nothing else to do, so why not? No problem. Once the mountain peak is settled, the sect master can send someone over, and I will do my best. The senior members of the sect were overjoyed, and though they tried to conceal it, the excitement in their eyes was unmistakable. The sect master's heart stirred, and he laughed. Sixth elder will take care of this. He will set up the formations as well. Junior Uncle, our sect has a half-immortal artifact-level pill tripod. How about we go take a look? Indeed. If Junior Uncle can subdue the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod, it would be like adding wings to a tiger. The elders echoed in agreement. Li Cheng knew about the existence of the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod, but, to tell the truth, he had no interest in a half-immortal artifact of the pill tripod kind. A pill tripod, even if it were an immortal artifact, its primary function was for alchemy. Of course, it could be used for offense and defense, but compared to weapons and armor of the same level, it was somewhat inferior. More importantly, Li Cheng had no intention of committing to alchemy long-term. Occupying the resources without using them properly did not sit well with him. But then he thought about his second disciple who was soon to arrive. She was pursuing the alchemy Dao, and if she could have the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod, it would be quite beneficial to give it to her. With this in mind, Li Cheng nodded. All right, let's have a look then. Everyone was filled with anticipation. The purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod was created over 50,000 years ago. It was said to be crafted by an immortal of the sect who descended to the lower world. It possessed such strong spiritual energy right from the start that, after more than 50,000 years, it was highly likely to have developed spiritual wisdom. However, the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod was incredibly proud, and since its creation, no one had been able to gain its recognition. Under the sect master's lead, everyone flew towards the central peak, and at the same time, Li Cheng sensed the fluctuations of the sect master's spiritual consciousness. Those fluctuations were the sect master transmitting a message to the seventh elder. Seventh elder, Junior Uncle has agreed to craft some breakthrough pills for our sect. Hurry and prepare the materials. Skip the low-grade ones. Start with the ingredients for the spirit-transforming Dan. We are now taking Junior Uncle to try and subdue the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod. Meanwhile, notify Sixth Elder to delay the project a bit, so you have enough time to prepare. Make sure to move the entire stockpile over. Hearing the sect master's transmission, the Seventh Elder, who was in the middle of arranging Ling Shi's fake death, was stunned for quite a while. Moving the entire stockpile of breakthrough pills? That's no small number. If it were up to him to craft them, he wouldn't dream of finishing in 10,000 years. That's ruthless. The corner of the Seventh Elder's mouth twitched severely. Ruthless as it may be, once this was accomplished, it would not be long before the Heavenly Mechanism sect could effortlessly reclaim its spot as the first among the top 10 sects. Of course, Li Cheng also heard the sect master's spiritual consciousness transmission and was momentarily taken aback. What a scheme! Seeking the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod was actually a ruse to buy time. He turned his head and glanced at the sect master, who was visibly excited, seemingly envisioning the plentiful stock of breakthrough pills at his disposal. All right then. Having been part of the Heavenly Mechanism sect for so many years without contributing much, he might as well craft them. It would probably work to throw several hundred batches of ingredients together for simultaneous processing. Only should he remind the sect master that he could hear his transmissions. Forget it. Bringing it up would be too awkward. Junior Uncle, the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod is inside this secret land. Upon arriving at the center's Heaven Secret Peak, under the sect master's leadership, the group reached a secluded cave. The cave was vast, with more than a dozen glyptic portals standing tall, all entrances to secret lands. Our sect actually has this many secret lands? Having focused solely on cultivation, Li Cheng was visiting this place for the first time. Secret lands, they are mini-universes built by powerful cultivators with their great divine powers. Forces like the 10 major sects have had too many predecessors ascend to the immortal world. If they ever had the chance to return to the lower world, they would inevitably leave some legacy for their sect, maybe leaving behind immortal artifacts or creating secret lands, and so on. Doing this is mostly for the development of the sect, but there is also a small part that is to satisfy one's vanity. Imagine countless junior disciples pointing at the things one left behind, speaking words of adoration that are akin to flattery. How gratifying would that be? Unfortunately, in these more than 10,000 years, as the ascend to a mortal platform and the sky-reaching road disappeared, very few immortals have been able to come to the lower world. The predecessors of the Heavenly Mechanism sect had never visited. These secret lands were all left by our predecessors. The strong figures of our sect have always maintained them, so they have been well preserved. Inside each secret land, there is either an immortal artifact or a semi-immortal artifact. If Uncle Junior would like, we can take a look at each one. The sect master's face was filled with a thick smile. Li Cheng's eyebrows twitched subtly. A trap. The sect master just wanted to delay time. Uncle Junior, besides the secret lands, our sect also controls a ruins realm. Would you like to take a look? The sect master suggested again. Li Cheng was somewhat surprised. When he didn't manage the sect affairs in the past, it seemed like he missed out on a lot. The ruins realm refers to a small world. Secret lands are mini-universes created by human effort, whereas ruins realms are naturally occurring small worlds. What's inside that ruins realm? Li Cheng asked curiously. That ruins realm is not far from the Kunlun realm. After about a dozen transmissions, you can reach it. Inside, there are many heaven and earth treasures and demon beasts. It is one of our sect's important sources of economic income, the sect master explained. The first elder took over the conversation. Actually, it's just SOSO. The strongest demon beast is only at the nascent soul stage. The highest grade of the heaven and earth treasures is only 4th level. After all, it's just a small world, can't compare to our Kunlun realm. The sect master glared fiercely at the first elder. He was trying to delay time by all means. Hadn't this guy figured it out? And yet, he was destroying their plans. Li Cheng smiled. Then let's skip that and go straight to see the purple void jade emperor's tripod. The sect master, having no choice, glared at the first elder again before saying, the purple void jade emperor's tripod is in the 7th secret land. Follow me. The first elder looked baffled. What had he done wrong? Indeed, he must have offended the sect master somewhere. Just the other day, when he was sent to deliver disciples to the junior uncle, he had sensed it, stepping through the portal formed by the membrane. The view before him changed, transforming into a world of clear skies and bright air. Here, the birds sang and the flowers fragranced, with hills rolling on and about. Medicinal fields visible everywhere. Li Cheng understood. There were already many medicinal fields in the sect, but he didn't expect there to be even more here. It seemed these were the main focus. The ones outside perhaps meant to mislead outsiders. The 7th secret land spans 1,000 miles, with 2 loose immortals guarding it. The purple void jade emperor's tripod is at the central location. The sect master spoke and flew ahead. In the center of the secret land was a lake, beside which stood more than a dozen wooden houses. In front of the houses towered a pavilion. This moment, 2 elders in the pavilion, who looked past 50, were both serious, periodically striking the table with a robust strand of true yuan. On the table, there was a palm-sized tripod with 3 legs enveloped in a pale golden sphere of light. No matter how the small tripod dashed and collided, it couldn't break free from the light's enclosure. How strange! This tripod has slumbered for 50,000 years, and suddenly it wakes up not only to shake itself awake, but also stubbornly tries to break out of the secret land. Old Hey, what do you think actually happened? The white-robed elder furrowed his brows as he spoke, and while talking, he channeled another stream of true yuan into the sphere. The elder known as Old Hay was clad in black robes, yet his appearance was the same as the white-robed elders. He glanced at the small tripod and stroked his snow-white beard. Old Bai, it's rather simple. There are 2 possibilities. The first is that it has developed spiritual wisdom and wants to escape. The second is that our sect's information about this tripod has leaked, and someone is tempting it from the outside with immortal pills or secret techniques. Old Hay's words made Old Bai ponder for a moment before nodding. That makes sense, but suppressing it like this all the time is not a solution. How about we try a little trick, release it to catch it? What he implied was to first undo the sealing and see where the little tripod wanted to go. Old Hay nodded in agreement. That's a good idea. I want to see who dares to covet the purple void jade emperor's tripod. As soon as he finished speaking, the 2 turned their heads in unison toward the distance, seeing a group of more than 10 people swiftly flying towards them. The sect master touched down before the pavilion first, bowing deeply. Greetings to the black and white uncle ancestors. Li Cheng, among others who followed the sect master down, curiously looked at the 2 elders. Judging by their vast and ocean-like aura, they were loose immortals. Moreover, they were more powerful than Bai Tie, with no specific number of tribulations known. Just as Old Hay was about to speak, Old Bai interjected, "Look, it's calmed down." On the table, the small tripod quietly settled down. Oh? So this silly tripod calms down when it sees there are more of us? Old Hay asked with suspicion. The sect master and everyone else shifted their gaze to the table, and upon seeing the situation there, the sect master's expression turned odd. Black and white uncle ancestors, what's up with the purple void jade emperor's tripod that it requires both of you to suppress it? Old Bai slightly shook his head. We are also wondering the same. Just now, it suddenly awakened and tried to fly outside. If it weren't for Old Hay's quick reaction, it would have escaped. Old Hay puffed out his chest, his hands behind his back. This is a semi-immortal artifact left by our ancestors. How could we let it escape? Sect Master, you don't need to thank me. The crowd exchanged glances. The sect master looked at Li Cheng and then at the purple void jade emperor's tripod, conjecturing. If I'm not mistaken, it's very likely that the little uncle's recent concoction of the responding to calamity pill woke up the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod. As for the tripod wanting to run, it probably wants to find the little uncle. This statement gained the unanimous agreement of the elders, all nodding their heads. The purple void Jade Emperor's tripod was a semi-mortal artifact when it was forged, possessing strong spiritual properties, which was precisely why no one had been able to tame it. So for many years, it had fallen into slumber. It wasn't until it sensed the astonishing pill skill from Li Cheng, or possibly the true fire containing the rule of fire, that it awoke from its slumber. Li Cheng raised his eyebrows slightly. Did this mean that if the two uncles hadn't interfered, the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod would have already come to find him? Responding to Calamity Pill, the black and white elders simultaneously turned to Li Cheng, asking in unison, "You can concoct the responding to Calamity Pill?" The sect master hurriedly presented the bottle of the responding to Calamity Pills. "Please have a look, uncles. This is what the little uncle just concocted." The two elders snatched the bottle of pills impatiently, eager to inspect it. The responding to Calamity Pill was extremely tempting for loose immortals. No matter the number of tribulations they had faced, consuming it would enhance their chances of success in their next loose immortal tribulation. You should know that there are only two outcomes for a loose immortal's tribulation. Success means living another 1,000 years, and failure results in utter annihilation. In such circumstances, who wouldn't want a responding to Calamity Pill? Supreme quality responding to Calamity Pill. Upon recognizing the quality of the pills, a flicker of brilliance lit up in the eyes of the two elders, but they soon regained their composure. Heh. I was wondering why the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod was trying to escape. It turns out it wanted to acknowledge its master. Had I known, I wouldn't have stopped it. Old Hay Chuckles said. Saying that, Old Hay undid the sealing on the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod. "Go ahead. Your master has come." The purple void Jade Emperor's tripod was only the size of a palm, and with a flash it moved in front of Li Cheng, bobbing up and down, a joyful emotion permeating all around. To be able to convey emotions, it indeed has birthed spiritual wisdom. With guidance, speaking will not be difficult, the sect master said. All the elders were filled with delight. The little junior uncle's pill skill was already unrivaled, and now with the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod, alchemy would become even easier. This was a great event for the sect. Li Cheng did not refuse. He released his spiritual sense and attempted to communicate with the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod. "Mu Xingji, come here." The black and white elders beckoned to the sect master. In the sect, only these elder loose immortals would dare to directly call the sect master by his name. The sect master stepped forward. "What is it, two respected uncles?" Old Bai spoke in a low voice. "You call him junior uncle. Don't tell me he is Wu Ya's disciple?" "Exactly." The sect master nodded. The black and white elders looked at each other and saw deep shock in each other's eyes. Li Cheng's master, Wu Ya, like them, was one of the sect's hidden loose immortal powerhouses, and was also a fellow elder brother, obviously very familiar with each other. They knew, 30 years ago, Wu Ya left the sect to seek the ascent to a mortal platform and the sky-reaching road, and before leaving, he took on a disciple. But at this moment, they could clearly sense that, though Li Cheng's appearance was of one at the complete stage of the transcendence tribulation stage, in reality, he was unfathomable. Most importantly, could Li Cheng actually refine responding to Calamity Pills? And the ones he refined were of extreme quality. How profound must one's mastery of the alchemy Tao be to accomplish this? In just 30 years, to raise one's cultivation and pill skill to such a terrifying level, how monstrously talented must he be? Rest assured, the two respected uncles, junior uncle has agreed to refine some breakthrough pills for the sect, the sect master added. The elders came back to their senses, nodding in agreement. Old Bai said, "The breakthrough pills are important indeed, but his ascension is more crucial. Such a monstrous talent should not waste time in the Kunlun realm." "Exactly. Let him refine just enough, and then please have him proceed with his tribulation crossing and ascension." Old Hay also spoke. A glint of joy flickered in the sect master's eyes as he nodded vigorously. "That is what I had in mind too. Junior uncle must ascend soon. Therefore, I only had the seventh elder prepare about a few thousand breakthrough pills materials." The elders nodded. looking satisfiedly at the sect master. Suddenly, the elders sensed something amiss, their expressions simultaneously changing to astonishment as they said in unison, "A few thousand?" The elders' eyes gradually widened. Old Hay scanned the sect master up and down, uncertainly questioning. "Mu Singji, did you say only?" Mu Singji nodded. "Yes, the sect stockpile has only a few thousand." Old Hay's facial muscles twitched violently. "How deeply have you misunderstood the word only?" Old Bai's body trembled slightly. Seemingly out of anger, he spoke faintly. "A few thousand batches. Do you have any idea how long that would take to refine?" Old Hay continued. "It would take at least 10,000 years to start." Mu Singji suddenly realized. He slapped his forehead and said with a wry smile, "It's my fault for not making it clear. With Junior Uncle's alchemy speed, 2,000 or 3,000 batches a day would not be a problem." The elder's eyes gradually widened, incredulity bursting forth. 2,000 or 3,000 batches a day? Are you sure it's not 2 or 3 a day? You must have misspoken, right? I think you meant to say 2 or 3 a day. Mu Singji shook his head repeatedly. "Respected uncles, you heard correctly. Junior Uncle can refine a batch in 10 to 20 breaths, maybe even faster." Not a joke? The elders looked at each other, feeling that perhaps there was something wrong with Mu Singji's head. If that's the case, it's time to gather everyone and replace the sect master. Mu Singji looked at the expressions of the two and felt a bad feeling welling up inside him. He knew that the elders didn't believe him and even suspected that he was mentally ill. All right then, indeed, it would be hard to believe if one hadn't seen it with their own eyes. With this thought in mind, Mu Singji quickly said, "Uncles, shall we go and watch the younger uncle refine pills later?" Both elders looked towards Li Cheng, who had just finished communicating with the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod. His true yuan surged, starting to refine it. With the cooperation of the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod and the recognition of blood as its master, Li Cheng's true yuan enveloped it, and within a few breaths, he had completely refined the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod. With a thought, the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod transformed into a colossal size of 100 zhong, suspended above Li Cheng's head, then immediately shrank to the size of a fingertip and landed in the palm of his hand. As it moves with my will, it's even more useful than the golden cudgel. If it's enlarged and used to smash someone, it would definitely be satisfying. The internal space also changes with the size of the tripod. As long as my spiritual sense is strong enough, it's possible to refine thousands of batches of the same pill in one breath. Joy filled Li Cheng's eyes that it had to be said that he had underestimated the power of a quasi-mortal artifact. "Younger uncle, Sixth Elder has sent a message that the new 18th peak is almost ready and asks you to go and see if there's anything that needs to be improved." Mu Singji's voice sounded. Li Cheng looked at Mu Singji in surprise. "Aren't you trying to delay things? Why are you suddenly so straightforward? You didn't even take out a message jade slip. Did a ghost send you a message? You know without checking?" Li Cheng's odd look made Mu Singji uncomfortable, but he didn't dare to tell the truth at the moment. He just hoped that Li Cheng would start refining the pills as soon as possible, so the black and white elders could witness it. Otherwise, they would consider him insane. Old Hay coughed lightly. "You must be Li Cheng, right? Congratulations on becoming the master of this tripod. We are your uncles. Just call us black and white uncles." Li Cheng bowed in greeting. "I greet the black and white uncles." "Haha, no need for such formality. Go ahead." Old Bai laughed heartily that Mu Singji hastily said his farewells and led everyone away that he knew the black and white elders would secretly follow. "Uncle, how is the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod? Can it improve the success rate of pill refining by much?" As soon as they left the secret land, an elder asked impatiently. No one had ever subdued this tripod before, so no one knew of its capabilities. Dai had been in the sect for over 50,000 years. Who wouldn't be curious? This is a quasi-immortal artifact, after all. Indeed, the predecessor who created it had extraordinary cultivation that reached the heavens. But due to the restrictions of the laws of the world, they could only create a quasi-mortal artifact at most. Otherwise, it would have been much more impressive. This tripod is excellent. It can completely isolate the escape of medicinal properties. As for how much it can improve the success rate, I can't say for certain because I don't know my own success rate. Li Cheng said, Mu Xingji took over the conversation. With the younger uncle's pill skill, refining spirit pills will certainly have a success rate of 100%. Even when refining immortal pills, it will surely be a success. Li Cheng was left speechless. What an unexpectedly flattery. There are no immortal elixirs in this world. What would you use to refine immortal pills? So you can boast about it because it doesn't exist, right? The Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod is rumored to be made from almost all immortal materials. If it were in the immortal world, a simple heating could turn it into an immortal artifact. Uncle, the future of this tripod is extraordinary. Mu Xingji added as they spoke. The group had returned to the front of the 18th peak. The current 18th peak was precipitous and beautiful, with peaks soaring into the clouds, giving off the distinct impression of an immortal peak. Li Cheng scanned the area with his spiritual sense and nodded in satisfaction. We only lack formations and residences. However, I suddenly have a bold idea. Audacious idea? All eyes simultaneously turned to Li Cheng. Filled with curiosity, Li Cheng pointed at the peak. What if we turn it upside down and settle it like that? Even better if we could use a formation to keep it levitating. Floating peak. The crowd was shocked. The Kunlun southern region did indeed have floating peaks, but they were impractical. Nice to look at, but not to use. Moreover, floating peaks required a vast amount of nature's spiritual energy to maintain their float, a loss-making endeavor. I truly apologize, Junior Martial Uncle. With my array mastery, I cannot set up a levitating array. Although it's just a 6th level array, it's not very useful, so I haven't studied it. The 6th elder flew in and said with a smile that Li Cheng felt somewhat disappointed, imagining those peaks floating in the air from the movies, which truly exemplified the magnificent scenery of the cultivation world. 6th elder, if we start researching now, how many days would it take to set up? The 18th peak has only Junior Martial Uncle and Yin Tianxiang. A floating peak would actually be quite suitable for their residence, Mu Xingji said. The 6th elder's eyes widened. Sect Master, a 6th level array isn't something that can be thoroughly understood so easily. A few days? Don't joke, it would be closer to 10 or 8 years. Li Cheng's face broke into a smile as he nodded towards the 6th elder. No need to specifically research it. I was just speaking off the cuff. It's pretty good as it is. This peak is already beautiful. Although he said that, Li Cheng had already made up his mind. When he had more instances of enlightenment, he would simply focus on comprehending the array method first. He would then set up the levitating array himself to turn the peak into a floating peak. But this would require a vast knowledge of array methods as a foundation for enlightenment, or like last time, based on someone else's comprehension of array methods. With that thought, Li Cheng looked at the 6th elder. Wasn't this an opportunity readily available? Seeing Li Cheng looking at him, the 6th elder cupped his fists and said with a smile, Junior Martial Uncle, what array do you need? I'll set it up right away. The smile on Li Cheng's face grew a bit thicker. 6th elder, I have an impolite request to make. The 6th elder laughed heartily. Just say the word, Junior Martial Uncle. Anything I can do, I will not refuse. The 6th elder was secretly elated. Junior Martial Uncle was the strongest in the sect, and surely now he wanted help setting up some special arrays, which of course he couldn't refuse. With that thought, the 6th elder didn't forget to cast a triumphant glance at the other elders, his expression seeming to say, see? Even someone as strong as Junior Martial Uncle needs my help sometimes. Li Cheng was delighted. 6th elder, I want your comprehension of array methods. Huh? The smile on the 6th elder's face instantly froze. The expressions of the other elders and the sect master were also one of sudden surprise. Good heavens! After obtaining the alchemy Dao insight from the 7th elder, Junior Martial Uncle became an incredible pill master. Now, he has set his sights on the array method. With Li Cheng's performance, there was no doubt that in the realm of alchemy, he was an undeniably extraordinary talent. But after uncovering such talent in alchemy, could he possibly achieve the same in the array method? Wouldn't that be far too arrogant? The 1st elder cleared his throat. Junior Martial Uncle, a person's energy is ultimately limited. If you delve into too much, it could be counterproductive. Why not forget it? Yeah, Junior Martial Uncle, whatever array you need, just ask the 6th elder to set it up for you. Why bother doing it yourself? Mu Xingji and others persuaded in unison. The The corner of the sixth elder's mouth twitched. Was it really okay to talk like this in front of him? But he knew that the sect master and the others said this because they were afraid junior martial uncle would waste too much time, as rushing to cross the tribulation and ascend was the real priority. Li Chung waved his hand. I'm just curious about the array method and want to simply understand it a bit. There's nothing wrong with that. At these words, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. What they feared was Li Chung immersing himself in the array method. If casual research turned into years, that would be a serious delay in the crucial matter of ascending. Mu Xingji pondered and asked, does my junior martial uncle truly just want a simple understanding? Yeah, if there's a chance, everyone should also learn more about other ways. There's no need to deeply comprehend, but understanding a bit is always good, Li Chung said. All present nodded in agreement. This statement was naturally correct. Mu Xingji looked towards the sixth elder. The sixth elder nodded. His comprehension of array method might be very precious, but being valued by his junior martial uncle was an honor for him. The sect master had indicated his approval, so naturally, there was no need for further thought. After receiving the comprehension of array method from the sixth elder, Li Chung happily said, thank you, sixth elder. I'll return it in a few days. There was no opportunity for enlightenment right now, but there definitely would be one tomorrow. It's no trouble, junior martial uncle. I'll first arrange the mountain protection array, which will connect to the sect's main array, the sixth elder said. Li Chung nodded, knowing that every peak had its own mountain protection array, all contributing to the sect's interlinked mountain protection arrays. Sixth elder, how long will it take? Mu Xingji inquired. The sixth elder certainly hadn't forgotten the sect master's instruction to delay time. So the sixth elder hesitantly replied, 2 or 3 days, perhaps? Cough, cough. Sixth elder, you are an array master, and a level 6 one at that. It doesn't need to take that long, right? Mu Xingji coughed dryly that a hint of confusion flickered in the sixth elder's eyes. Weren't they supposed to delay time? Was it no longer necessary? Then one day, pondering over it, the sixth elder crisply said, junior martial uncle, it will take a day. It's not good for us to just wait. How about we do some alchemy first? The first elder quickly picked up on what the sect master intended and swiftly took over the conversation. Indeed, as soon as these words were spoken, the sect master bestowed an approving gaze. Li Chung was indifferent, shrugging as he said, okay, bring the medicinal materials. With the purple void jade emperor's tripod at hand, Li Chung also wanted to try whether he could process multiple batches of materials at once. Under normal circumstances, alchemy could only be done with one batch of materials at a time, but according to Li Cheng's idea, one batch or 10, 100 batches were just a matter of scaling up the quantity proportionally. Having never read books on alchemy Tao, Li Chung wasn't sure if it was feasible, but since the proportions of drug power and ingredients compatibility ratios remain the same for one or multiple batches, it should be possible. Mu Xingji looked towards 7th peak and sent a transmission saying, 7th elder, send over the prepared breakthrough pill materials first. You can continue to gather more while junior martial uncle is refining. He had never expected his transmitted message to be heard by Li Chung, as transmitting with spiritual sense essentially sends out spiritual consciousness fluctuations, with the content hidden within those fluctuations, inaccessible, without special means. Li Chung maintained a calm expression, continuing to pretend ignorance, to save everyone from embarrassment. Soon, the 7th elder came flying with 3 storage rings. Junior martial uncle, this is quite laborious for you. Li Chung took the storage rings and began to inspect them. The 7th elder's expression became anxious. There were materials for 2,000 batches of spirit transforming Dan within, and he didn't know if the junior martial uncle would be enraged. 7th elder, how many batches have you gathered? Mu Xingji transmitted his question. Exactly 2,000 batches of spirit transforming Dan materials. Sect master, will junior martial uncle be angry? The 7th elder worried. He still hoped to learn pill skill from the junior martial uncle, and offending him over this would mean losing more than he gained. Mu Xingji, with an air of confidence, gave the 7th elder a comforting look. You continue to prepare more breakthrough pill materials. No, sect master, I haven't yet witnessed junior martial uncle do alchemy. I can't miss it. I'll let my disciples prepare it. After Li Cheng finished inspecting the storage ring, with a flip of his hand, the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod appeared in front of him. Step back, everyone. I'm about to begin. Seeing this semi-immortal artifact-level pill tripod, the seventh elder's eyes widened in astonishment. The seventh elder's eyes widened in disbelief. The purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod. Among the many elders, he had seen the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod the most times. Whenever he had nothing to do, he would go to the seventh secret land to observe the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod, trying to communicate with it. He had lost count of his attempts, but without a doubt, the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod had never responded to him. Yet the junior granduncle had taken a walk around and actually managed to get his hands on this tripod. An elder patted the seventh elder's shoulder. Stop looking. If it hadn't been for the black and white elders suppressing the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod, it would have flown out to find the junior granduncle by itself. The seventh elder's heart felt as if it was being fiercely pinched, and he gave that elder a resentful glance. Can you not stab people in the heart with your words? Cough, cough. The junior granduncle has started. Li Cheng took out 10 portions of medicinal ingredients and threw them all into the purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod. This scene astonished the crowd that T.O. refined 10 portions at once. Most people present were not pill masters, but they knew that the requirements for making pills were extremely strict. The proportion of each ingredient, their extraction, and fusion cannot be careless in the slightest. A minor mistake, and all previous efforts could go to waste. Could he really control the process with 10 portions of ingredients thrown in at once? The gazes of the people shifted towards the seventh elder, filled with questions. They could not disturb Li Cheng now, and the seventh elder was the one who understood alchemy Tao the best. The seventh elder's eyes sparkled as if he didn't notice the questioning looks, muttering to himself. Refining multiple spirit pills at the same time requires strong true fire and spiritual sense to support it because of the large quantity, which makes it difficult to ensure that the extracted spirit medicine essence is at the proper fusion point. Muttering to himself, joy appeared on the seventh elder's face. I see now, in addition to his powerful true fire, the junior granduncle's spiritual sense must also be exceptionally strong. Hearing the seventh elder's mumbling, Sect Master Mu Xingji's expression changed, and he asked hastily, Seventh elder, when you say the junior granduncle's spiritual sense is extremely strong, how strong exactly do you mean? The seventh elder, without shifting his gaze from Li Cheng, who was refining pills, said, if he can successfully refine all 10 spirit-transforming dawn at the same time, then it means at least his spiritual sense is comparable to that of a second tribulation loose immortal. At least? Can't you be more precise? Mu Xingji furrowed his brows. The junior granduncle's speed in pill refining is extraordinarily fast. We cannot measure him by the standards of a regular pill master, so I cannot be sure. He might even be comparable to a 5th or 6th tribulation loose immortal, the seventh elder said. Upon hearing this, Mu Xingji wore a strange expression. With such a powerful spiritual sense, could the junior granduncle have heard his own transmitted message? If he had heard it, how awkward would that be? However, on the few occasions he had sent messages while near the junior granduncle, the latter always looked normal. Probably he hadn't heard them. Mu Xingji had never worried about this before, but now he was filled with anxiety. After all, if his messages had been overheard, he would really need to find a crack to crawl into if he needed to. Confirm it somehow. While pondering over this, Mu Xingji quickly wrote a note and passed it to the first elder. The first elder, full of confusion, took the note, glanced it over, and then with his true fire gushing out from his palm, he destroyed the note before giving Mu Xingji a suspicious look. What was the sect master up to? By this time, Li Cheng had reached the step of pill condensation. Over 100 spirit-transforming dawn about to solidify were rolling inside the tripod, and the moment they stabilized, the pill formation was complete. As these 100-plus spirit-transforming dawn flew out, everyone was amazed to find that these pills were, like stars surrounding the moon, guarding something. Li Cheng also watched the pills intently and saw that at the center, one pill seemed to be wrapped in gold threads and emitted fluctuations far surpassing the other pills. Curiously, he grabbed the floating spirit-transforming Dan from the air and scrutinized it closely. This spirit-transforming Dan was lustrous, and within it, pale golden pill patterns had formed, looking both mysterious and beautiful. Pill patterns. These are the pill patterns mentioned in the classics, exclaimed the seventh elder. Seventh elder, when you mention pill patterns, are you referring to King Great Spirit pills? An elder asked curiously. The seventh elder's expression was one of excitement, and he nodded vigorously. That's right. The quality of pills can be divided into lower, middle, upper, and supreme grades, but little do people know. Above the supreme grade there actually exists the king grade, and the unique symbol of a king grade is the pill patterns. I have practiced alchemy for hundreds of years and have never seen a king great spirit pill. Today, I owe it to the little granduncle. Li Chung glanced at the seventh elder, saw his eager expression, and decided to hand over the spirit pill for his inspection, then began to ponder quietly. Based on his own speed, he should be able to refine 2 batches in 1 minute. But it took him just about 2 minutes to refine 10 batches all at once. So, what about 100 batches at once? From the situation just now, refining 100 spirit transforming dawn at once would also be quite easy. Sect Master, the little granduncle is so amazing. The little granduncle is so amazing. Suddenly, Li Chung heard the first elder's voice transmission, incessantly repeating, the little granduncle is so amazing, dozens of times without stopping. Li Chung was stunned and looked at the first elder with suspicion. What was going on? Had the first elder gotten stuck? Turned into a parrot. The look in Li Cheng's eyes and his expression made Mu Xingji's face instantly turn unnatural. This is bad. His own cultivation and spiritual sense were on par with the first elder's. If the little granduncle had obviously heard the first elder's voice transmission, then his own likewise couldn't have been concealed from the little granduncle. Earlier, when passing a note to the first elder, it was to have the first elder find an opportunity to praise the little granduncle 100 times through voice transmission. Sure enough, such behavior had caught the little granduncle's attention. This meant that with their level of cultivation and strength of spiritual sense, voice transmission in front of Li Chung was no different than whispering into his ear in the distance. The black and white elders, who were concealing their forms, had an extremely brilliant expression on their faces, staring unblinkingly at the more than 100 spirit transforming dawn floating in front of everyone. Mu Xingji wasn't lying. This kid's pill skill is too heaven-defying, isn't it? Exclaimed old He, surprised. TSK. Senior brother Wuya has taken such a monstrous disciple. I'm jealous. Old Bai clicked his tongue incessantly. With his alchemy speed, he won't delay ascending, but it would be a pity not to pass down such heaven-defying pill skill. Indeed, let's ask Mu Xingji later on, they said. While the black and white elders discussed, Li Chung had already started refining pills again. This time, he directly tossed in materials for 100 spirit transforming dawn. The people watching felt their eyelids twitch. If he succeeded, the little granduncle would simply be a spirit pill production machine, with 100 batches of materials. According to Li Cheng's standard, at the very least, he would be able to refine 1,000. Spirit transforming dawn, and the time spent would certainly be very short. Isn't that just a production machine? The most critical question was, he had just refined King Great Spirit Transforming Dawn from 10 batches. Now with 100 batches, might there appear an even higher quality Spirit Transforming Dawn? Everyone thought of this possibility and unanimously turned to look at the seventh elder, above King Great. Isn't there a higher quality? I heard that the top quality can trigger a pill tribulation. The seventh elder rolled his eyes. Pill tribulation is only a myth. I have scoured the records, finding that the tale of pill tribulation comes from 100,000 years ago. Yet, in the past 100,000 years, the highest quality that has emerged is merely King Great. However, I always believe that there has to be some truth behind legends. It's just that it hasn't appeared for so long, so it's become a legend. Everyone nodded in agreement, and the first elder said, "Your words are reasonable. Is it possible that a quality above King Grade could trigger the pill tribulation? Can't say for sure. The records say that above King Grade is Emperor Grade, and then Emperor Grade, but none have appeared for over 100,000 years, so who knows?" Although the seventh elder spoke thus, his eyes shimmered with anticipation. The introduction by the seventh elder had everyone brimming with anticipation. With 10 portions combined, a king-grade spirit transforming Dan was produced. With 100, could it lead to an emperor grade? Or even the legendary emperor grade? Suddenly, Mu Xingji's heart stirred. Pill tribulation, like the heaven tribulation faced by cultivators, is a suppression by the laws of heaven and earth. If pill tribulation emerges, the laws must become incredibly active. At that time, the laws of heaven and earth will definitely sense Junior Uncle's cultivation and bring down the heaven tribulation. As these words were spoken, everyone widened their eyes, and the first elder said joyfully, "That means Junior Uncle can finally cross the tribulation." If pill tribulation descends, as an alchemist, Junior Uncle will certainly be present. So how could his proximity go unnoticed by the rules of heaven and earth? His cultivation should have faced tribulation long ago. This time, there's no escaping it. Whether he wants to or not, he must undergo the tribulation. As long as he survives the heaven tribulation, Junior Uncle will inevitably be unable to suppress his advancement for long, and will have to ascend. This thought. Everyone's faces lit up with frantic joy. Junior Uncle was finally going to ascend. What if he didn't want to ascend? Refining so many portions of the spirit transforming Dan, he's surely set his own trap, hasn't he? Just waiting. All they had to do was wait for Junior Uncle to produce top-quality spirit transforming Dan, trigger the pill tribulation, and trap himself. Li Cheng was already fully focused on adjusting his condition, oblivious to the ecstatic expressions around him. He hadn't thought that far. He only wanted to refine pills with the highest efficiency. The spirit transforming Dan is merely a 4th-level spirit pill, something nascent soul stage experts can refine. Li Cheng, recalling the previous refining process, faintly felt that 100 portions were too few. Refining 100 responding to calamity pills would be a huge challenge for him, but 100 spirit transforming Dawn put no pressure on him. Once his condition was adjusted, Li Cheng slowly opened his eyes and once again added 900 portions of materials to the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod, amounting to a total of 1,000 portions. After some quiet calculations, Li Cheng nodded in satisfaction. No problem at all. The onlookers, however, were stunned. 1,000 portions. Aren't you kidding? Before the audience could open their mouths to argue, Li Cheng had already ignited the true fire and commenced the alchemy process. The Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod grew as large as a house, with the roaring true fire surging within it, its astonishing fluctuations forcing the onlookers to retreat repeatedly. The materials for the spirit transforming Dan comprised of 17 types of spirit medicine, 1,000 portions each, all swiftly purified under Li Cheng's control. The impurities dissipated like smoke in the wind, with only the essence and medicinal properties retained. In just a few minutes, only 17 clusters of medicine essences remained in the tripod. Next was to merge these medicine essences in sequence. Since each essence had a different compatibility, any slight mishap or mistiming could cause an explosion due to the rejection among essences, leading to a failed alchemy and wasted efforts. If it had been a lower-level pill tripod, so many portions of material could have blown it to pieces, but the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod was a semi-immortal artifact. How could it possibly be destroyed by spirit medicine? Perhaps with immortal elixir, it would be possible. The process of merging the various medicine essences is known as amalgamating the Dan. This step is time-consuming and cannot be rushed. After almost half an hour, Li Cheng finally finished this phase. Looking at the pill-sized medicine liquid orb over a meter in diameter, Li Cheng took a long breath of relief. What followed would be simpler, condensing the Dan. Many formations were set up inside the Purple Void Jade Emperor's tripod. Each stage of the alchemy could be assisted by the corresponding formation, including the condensing stage. The intensity of the true fire within the tripod lessened, the formation activated, and it rolled the amalgamated medicine essence around. In the blink of an eye, the medicine liquid orb was evenly divided into tens of thousands of portions. Under the operation of the formation, these nascent pills quickly took shape, resembling little marbles flying upwards. Li Cheng opened the pill tripod, and witness. Countless spirit-transforming dawn flew out like locusts swarming, each enveloped in a dense pill fragrance and a faint luster, pouring out densely. The fragrance of the pills wafted through the air, refreshing the spirit and invigorating the mind. The pills are finished. Everyone drew long breaths, afraid the scent of the pills would dissipate, their gazes firmly fixed on the cluster of pills. Above 10,000 spirit, transforming dawn floated above the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod, each pill releasing a faint luster that converged into a spectacular display. Heavens! There are even pill patterns on them. At least 100, the seventh elder exclaimed as he surveyed the group of pills. Among these 100 or so with pill patterns, more than 10 are enshrouded in halos. Could they be the Emperor grades you were talking about? The first elder asked. Without needing the seventh elder's response, everyone had already guessed. An elder looked up at the sky and murmured, "There's no pill tribulation. It seems there are no Emperor grade divinity transforming dawn." Mu Xingji sighed quietly. Little Uncle Master has already refined so many Emperor grades, yet there are no signs of Emperor grade. Perhaps the pill tribulation is really just a legend. Li Cheng looked at everyone and shook his head slightly. Emperor grade is not something you can simply refine. Oh, why is that? Mu Xingji asked curiously. Li Cheng smiled. You should all retreat a kilometer away. You'll know soon enough. Speaking, Li Cheng looked towards the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod. Release the seal. Indeed, the power fluctuations of these pills had been locked by the formation and aura of the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod, preventing the pill's power from leaking out. His voice faded. Everyone distinctly sensed countless waves of spiritual energy emanating from the pills. In the next moment, it seemed as if something special had happened in the sky. The laws of heaven and earth are becoming more active. The pill tribulation is coming. Old Hay instinctively took a few steps back. Far away. To loose immortals, there was an unspoken fear of lightning tribulations. Even if it was just a minor pill tribulation. It was like those who feared snakes. They would be afraid whether they encountered a big snake or a small snake. The same principle. The laws of heaven and earth became increasingly active. Even the elders, whose cultivation levels were below the transcendence tribulation stage, sensed it and promptly retreated. Li Cheng stood still, looking up at the sky, then at the more than 10,000 spirit transforming dawn, knowing well that after a while, hardly 1 in 10 would remain. I understand now. Suddenly, the seventh elder cried out in surprise, then said, Emperor grade spirit pills can indeed invoke a pill tribulation, and surviving the pill tribulation will transform them into Emperor grade. So Little Uncle Master was right to say that Emperor grade is not something you refine. It is formed through crossing the pill tribulation. Hearing the seventh elder's words, the first elder became solemn. In that case, we should collect the other divinity transforming dawn first. Otherwise, when the pill tribulation descends, wouldn't many be destroyed? Mu Xingji's face was radiant with joy. Little Uncle Master must have thought of that, but since he isn't collecting them, he must have his reasons. What we should be excited about now is hee. At his words, everyone thought of their previous speculations, feelings of joy surging within them. The pill tribulation was brewing. How far could Little Uncle Master's heaven tribulation be? With Little Uncle Master still in the midst, once the pill tribulation descended, it would likely transform into a heaven tribulation in just a few seconds. Everyone seemed to have already envisioned the scene of Little Uncle Master crossing the tribulation, having overcome the heaven tribulation. One would sense the day of their ascension. It was usually about a month or so, the longest being 1 or 2 years. Overall, Little Uncle Master's ascension was imminent. Mu Xingji took out the array plate. Once Little Uncle Master decides to leave the sect to face the tribulation, we cannot be careless. We'll immediately activate the mountain protection array to make sure the residual force of the heaven tribulation doesn't affect the sect. Everyone nodded in unison. Just then, a powerful fluctuation suddenly emerged in the sky, with a vast oppressive force sweeping across. At this moment, everyone looked up at the sky to see thick clouds rapidly gathering from all directions. The wind, appearing out of nowhere, gently lifted all the pills skyward. The sky darkened as clouds gathered rapidly, forming a massive cloud hundreds of zhang wide right above the purple void Jade Emperor's tripod. Is this the pill tribulation? It feels rather stingy, Li Cheng muttered. Even if the tribulation clouds didn't cover the entire sky, they should at least envelop a large part of the sect, right? Now, however, they confined such a small area that it seemed rather petty. But this was only a fourth-level spirit pill. It didn't warrant a grand pill tribulation eye in the heart of the tribulation clouds. A giant beast seemed to be stirring the winds and clouds, slowly forming a vortex, within which lightning flashed and darted, displaying a measure of imposing momentum. This pill tribulation is no simple matter. A cultivator at the nascent soul stage would definitely be unable to withstand it. I'm afraid the spirit transforming dawn will be completely destroyed. The seventh elder sternly watched the vortex within the clouds and murmured. Could it be because there were too many emperor-grade spirit transforming dawn? Asked an elder. When cultivators face tribulation, if there are several together, the power of heaven tribulation multiplies, and it stands to reason that pill tribulation would do the same. The stronger, the better. I'm afraid a weak one won't attract the attention of my junior uncle's heaven tribulation, Moose Singji whispered. Your words make sense. The senior members began to look forward with anticipation. The entire heavenly mechanism sect had already been alerted, but the sect master and others had spread the news early on, preventing any panic at this moment. All members of the heavenly mechanism sect were watching, their faces filled with pride. This legendary pill tribulation descending upon their sect would surely spread throughout the Kunlun southern region soon. Then, the reputation of the heavenly mechanism sect would undoubtedly soar, likely causing even the pill sect to become uneasy. After all, even for the pill sect, it had been many tens of thousands of years since a pill tribulation had occurred. The 18th elder is monstrously excessive. No one can match his talent and cultivation level, and now he's even drawing forth a pill tribulation with his alchemy. I really want to take him as my master. If you take him as your master, you'd be of the same generation as the sect master and the other elders. I wouldn't dare to do that. I would be content to become his disciple. What are you thinking? Everyone knows that the 18th elder takes disciples based on fate. If you were fated, he would have already noticed you. Can't I fantasize a bit? The 18th elder is my idol. The entire sect discussed the matter. No doubt, after today, many pill masters would likely come to seek an audience with the 18th elder. Boom. Deafening thunderclaps resounded, startling the discussing crowd into silence, forcing them to concentrate their gaze. But it was already too late. They could only see that countless spirit-transforming dawn had been blasted into powder. In the center, the seventh elder and the others showed pained expressions. This first strike of tribulation. Thunder had obliterated at least 4,000 to 5,000 spirit-transforming dawn. And in the tribulation clouds, the second bolt of tribulation thunder was already gathering. Legend says there are typically only 3 tribulation strikes. But after 3 strikes, how many spirit-transforming dawn will remain? What a pity, such a waste of heaven's resources, grumbled the seventh elder, unable to hold back his complaint. Boom. The second bolt of tribulation thunder arrived, thick as a man's thigh, striking the group of pills and shattering thousands in an instant. And even as the tribulation thunder dispersed, electrical arcs still danced over the remaining spirit-transforming dawn. Immediately following, the third one came. After this blow, nearly 12,000 spirit-transforming dawn were reduced to less than 300. That area was left with nothing but a thick diffusion of pill chi. Just as everyone felt an unbearable pang of loss, they saw that region light up with radiant colors. There's a change. Among the remaining 200-plus spirit-transforming dawn, 7 were emitting radiant colors, and as the colored lights appeared, the pill chi lingering in the nearby area rapidly contracted, surging towards those 7 spirit-transforming dawn. Within a few breaths, the pill chi had been completely consumed by them, and the colorful light also receded. In the sky, the tribulation clouds dispersed as well, restoring clarity and brightness to the heavens. The seventh elder rushed towards Li Cheng, unable to contain his laughter. Ha! I've understood now. The so-called pill tribulation is actually heaven and earth engaging in alchemy. Li Cheng gave the overly excited seventh elder a glance and casually waved his hand. A spirit-transforming Dan of Emperor grade floated towards him. Your understanding isn't wrong. The seventh elder caught the Emperor grade spirit-transforming Dan, but did not rush to examine it. Instead, he bowed deeply. Please enlighten me, junior uncle. Li Cheng beckoned with a gesture, and all the pills fell from midair, hovering in front of him. Upon closer inspection, aside from the Emperor grade, they were all King grade. To think that previously there were not so many King grade, just barely over 100, but now there were as many as 270. The 6 Emperor grade pills were surrounded by Dan clouds, with contained aura. Li Cheng could sense that they possessed a faint spirituality. After sweeping his gaze over them, Li Cheng looked at the bowing 7th elder and said, As you've just witnessed, the tribulation thunder ravaged over 10,000 divinity transformation dawn. But the pill chi and even the medicinal efficacy hadn't dissipated so swiftly. The divinity transformation dawn that survived the tribulation thunder immediately absorbed the residual pill chi and medicinal efficacy. Hence they all advanced. Interpreting this process as heaven and earth alchemizing isn't inappropriate. But take a closer look at the Emperor grade divinity transformation Dan. See if you can notice anything. The 7th elder hastily examined it, and moments later, with an embarrassed look, he turned to Li Cheng. Junior uncle, I am short-sighted. Li Cheng was surprised, and then seemed to realize something, nodding and saying, I had forgotten, your cultivation hasn't reached the stage where you can realize the law of heaven and earth. What I meant was, this Emperor grade divinity transformation Dan retains the aura of law. If one were to swallow it, they would have a great chance to use this remaining aura of law to comprehend the law. The reason it is called Emperor grade might well be because of this reason. The sect master and others arrived in time to hear Li Cheng's words, and their jaws dropped in astonishment. To comprehend the law? Isn't that defying the will of heaven? Even if it's just the comprehension of a single law, that would still be starting on the path to greatness. Don't be so shocked. It's only a chance, and without exceptional insight, you can't even capture the aura of law in this pill, let alone comprehend the law. A splash of cold water calmed everyone down. After all, if they had that kind of insight, would they not have reached the tribulation crossing stage after hundreds of years? To be like the junior uncle, who could ascend after crossing the tribulation in just 30 years, that would take a real chance, wouldn't it? The commotion was too great. Let's put a hold on alchemy for now. Outsiders will likely come soon, Li Cheng said, leaving behind only 2 Emperor grade divinity transformation dawn and handing the rest to the sect master. He intended to gift the 2 Emperor grade divinity transformation dawn to his 2 disciples. Mu Xingji couldn't hide his excitement. Emperor grade divinity transformation dawn. Oh, even a nascent soul cultivator with lackluster talent could probably enhance their cultivation to the late or middle stages of the divinity transformation stage, right? The spirit transforming Dan is a type of breakthrough pill that assists cultivators in entering the divinity transformation stage. Of course, even with a breakthrough pill, it may not be useful for those with too poor talent. But this is Emperor grade, surely capable of propelling one through several realms in succession. The 7th elder hurriedly shook his head. Sect master, what you said is not right. Let me tell you, this one Emperor grade spirit transforming Dan, if taken by any nascent soul stage disciple, could push their realm to the complete phase of the divinity transformation stage. As long as they refine a large amount of spirit stones to catch up in cultivation, they would become a genuine complete stage divinity transformation powerhouse. Upon hearing this, everyone was astounded. With that logic, wouldn't using Emperor grade fusion Dao pill and unifying pills create top-level experts? Seeing everyone's astonished looks, the 7th elder mocked. I know what you're all thinking, and you're right. Just one set of Emperor grade breakthrough pills could create a powerhouse at the complete stage of the tribulation crossing. But just think about it. Not to mention how difficult it is to obtain a full set of Emperor grade breakthrough pills. Even if you have them, refining them would take at least 30 to 50 years, right? Plus, you also need to refine spirit stones to accumulate cultivation. Doesn't it require 100 years? It's still not as fast as the junior uncle. Everyone was stunned. Indeed, they were overthinking. Li Cheng shook his head with a smile. The 7th elder is right. but don't always bring me up when bragging." The crowd grinned, preparing to tease further, but then they saw Li Cheng frown and turned to look towards the north. Li Cheng knitted his brows and turned to gaze at the northern sky. The senior members were all puzzled. The expression of their junior uncle was so grave. What had happened over there? Junior uncle's spiritual sense is indeed incredibly powerful. We didn't sense anything, but he sensed it first. Mu Xingji thought silently. Junior uncle, what's wrong? The seventh elder hurriedly asked. He was eager to consult junior uncle on matters of the alchemy Tao, but junior uncle, frowning, was looking northward. What was the situation? Li Cheng shifted his gaze back and shook his head slightly. I'll be in closed-door cultivation for a few days. Don't bother me with anything that isn't important. Having said that, Li Cheng's figure disappeared from the spot, and he returned to the 18th peak. Mu Xingji and the others looked toward the north, and then at the 18th peak, completely baffled. The seventh elder felt somewhat perplexed and pondered, what exactly happened in the north? All eyes turned to Mu Xingji. After making his calculations, Mu Xingji's brows also furrowed. Strange, my divination with the heaven's secret technique indicates an omen, both good and bad. The north? Both good and bad. The first elder murmured thoughtfully. Mu Xingji divined once again and then nodded heavily. Yes, a good omen is near, while the bad omen is still far off. I'm afraid we may need to ask the former sect master to divine it. The Heavenly Mechanism sect was known throughout the southern domain for its heaven secret technique, but only the successive sect master had the ability to cultivate it. The heaven secret technique could glimpse the workings of fate, making it quite mysterious. Although once cultivators reached a certain realm, they could predict good and bad fortune to some extent through their insights into the Tao. The heaven secret technique had the advantage of having a lower threshold. The former sect master may not be willing to divine for us. Sect master, why don't we divine when junior uncle will ascend to immortality? One elder said expectantly. Mu Xingji glared at that elder annoyingly. Not mentioning junior uncle's ascension was fine, but bringing it up was depressing. Previously, they thought that the arrival of the pill tribulation would also bring forth junior uncle's heaven tribulation. But in the end, there was nothing. All in vain. With my level of cultivation, divining junior uncle's matters is practically inviting discomfort. Do you want me to be backlash killed so you can inherit my relics? Mu Xingji said. The first elder quickly changed the subject. Sect master, what good things could be approaching with the good omen? Mu Xingji focused his gaze toward the north, faintly sensing that many powerful auras were drawing closer. The elders also sensed it one after another, and subsequently shifted their gazes toward the 18th peak. Junior uncle sensed those auras earlier. His sensory abilities are so strong. These auras were closing in at an astonishing speed. It had been such a long time before they sensed them, while junior uncle had sensed them much earlier and retreated to closed-door cultivation. Only now did they understand that junior uncle wasn't truly entering closed-door cultivation, but was trying to avoid those approaching powerhouses. They are pill masters. With such strong auras, they must be from the pill sect. The seventh elder spoke up. Hearing this, everyone was even more shocked. Junior uncle had discovered them early on. Indeed, Li Cheng had sensed them long ago. A group of pill masters were rushing toward their sect, obviously attracted by the pill tribulation. Their purpose for coming needn't even be said, so Li Cheng went straight back to the 18th peak, not wishing to make contact with those people. Upon returning to the 18th peak, he saw the sixth elder leading a group of disciples busily at work, either constructing great halls or busy setting up formations. Li Cheng watched for a moment without revealing himself to disturb them. Satisfied, he left and headed for the scripture repository. The Heavenly Mechanism sect's scripture repository had 7 levels. Apart from the 7th level, which required the sect master's approval, the other 6 levels were accessible to all elders. Li Cheng came here, of course, to check the pill-related scriptures. Despite having gained insights into the alchemy Tao from the 7th elder, and even being able to easily produce 8th-tier spirit pills, he still lacked extensive knowledge of the alchemy Tao to truly become an 8th-tier pill master. Just one more step, of course. I have to take it, cultivators read. With incredible efficiency, scanning with their spiritual sense, a book would be finished in an instant. Besides, most of them are recorded on jade slips, which are very convenient to read. Li Chung planned to start from the first layer and scan upwards. The main hall of the Heavenly Mechanism sect was now welcoming a group of high-ranking officials from the Pill sect. The Pill sect was also one of the top 10 sects, ranked second, and Mu Xingji and others certainly did not dare to neglect them. Mu Xingji, leading a group of elders, stood outside the Grand Hall, quietly waiting. Soon after, more than a dozen people descended from the sky, all Transcendence Tribulation stage powerhouses. It's been years, sect leader Mu. You still have such an imposing presence. The leader was a middle-aged man with a firm face and deep eyes. His voice filled with magnetism. Mu Xingji clasped his hands together. Sect leader, Shinta graces us with your presence. My apologies for not welcoming you from afar. The Pill sect had dealings with all the major sects, and when it came to the wealthiest sect, none could surpass the Pill sect. The sect leader of the Pill sect, Shinta Feng, was confident no matter where he went. Shinta Feng returned the gesture. Sect leader Mu is being too courteous. I've come uninvited, and I hope sect leader Mu won't take offense. Mu Xingji and all the elders wore smiles, presenting a friendly appearance, but they were cursing inwardly. Why? Because the Pill sect thinks it's so great, right? If it's a visit, don't you know to come through the main gate, landing directly in front of the main hall from the sky? Isn't that a blatant sign of disrespect to the Heavenly Mechanism sect? Although they were angry inside, they had to maintain a pleasant demeanor on the surface. You joke, sect leader Shintu, please this way. Mu Xingji gestured with his hand to invite them in. Once inside the grand hall, and everyone was seated, Shinta Feng spoke up. Earlier, I sensed a pill tribulation occurring within your sect, so out of curiosity, I hurried over to see if your sect has managed to create the legendary Emperor Great Spirit Pill. Mu Xingji and the others were not surprised. They had anticipated that this would attract a crowd of pill masters. Yes, sect leader Mu, if I recall correctly, the most skilled pill master in your sect is only a level 6. Yet you managed to create an Emperor Great Spirit Pill. Quite strange indeed, said an old man beside Shinta Feng as he clasped his hands. He was the first elder of the Pill sect, Ning Qianxiu, and his words immediately displeased the 6th elder. What does he mean by only level 6? What does he mean by managed to? Shinta Feng also realized Ning Qianxiu's remarks were somewhat improper and said with a smile, Elder Ning meant to ask whether it would be possible for us to take a look at the Emperor Great Spirit Pill your sect has crafted. Mu Xingji kept a smile throughout, and with a flip of his hand, a jade bottle appeared in it. Why not? It's just a mere Emperor Great Spirit transforming Dan. The eyes of the elders of the Heavenly Mechanism sect lit up, appreciating the way he spoke, especially the use of mere. Quite cunning. What others desperately seek, the Emperor Grade, is referred to as mere in our Heavenly Mechanism sect. Upon seeing the jade bottle, the people from the Pill sect completely ignored Mu Xingji's words and eagerly took it to examine it in Emperor Grade. Not seen in the world for over 100,000 years, had become a legend. Now that they had the chance to see it with their own eyes, how could they not be excited? The Dan has clouds spiraling around it. Its aura is restrained, as if returning to its origin, and it contains the aura of laws. It's indeed an Emperor Grade. After a moment of observation, Shinta Feng's eyes flickered with excitement. Everyone from the Pill sect stared intently at the Emperor Grade Spirit transforming Dan, each with an excited and agitated expression. If not for being in the Heavenly Mechanism sect, they might have already started shouting excitedly. Ignoring the excited expressions around him, Shinta Feng turned to Mu Xingji with a smile. Sect leader Mu, it's recorded in the archives that when an Emperor Grade appears, there will inevitably be King Grades born alongside it. May I ask how many King Grades were born with this Emperor Grade Spirit transforming Dan? Mu Xingji looked calm, but his mind was as clear as a mirror. He knew. The bait had been cast. Mu Xingji's expression remained unchanged. He knew that Shinta Feng's question was fraught with schemes. Due to the Pill sect's long-standing heritage of pill skill, they were privy to many alchemical secrets unknown to outsiders. He asked how many Emperor Grade pills were accompanied by King Grade pills, as if Mu Xingji would believe him without even a punctuation mark's doubt. Could someone who assumes the position of sect leader really be as simple as he appears? In front of Li Cheng, With a slight smile, Mu Xingji said, I'm not sure about that. The pill was refined by an elder of our sect. Although we were present during the pill tribulation, we hardly had a chance to see anything before the elder took it away. Upon hearing this, Ning Qianxiu, the first elder of the pill sect, slapped his thigh. I knew it. It was refined by an elder of your sect. Sect leader Mu, could you introduce us? Hearing this, Mu Xingji and the others instantly understood why the junior uncle said he was in seclusion, but it turned out he had already guessed that the people from the pill sect would seek him out after their arrival. It should be possible to introduce you, but that elder seemed to have gained something from refining the pill and has since entered seclusion. Mu Xingji said with a smile that a hint of disappointment crossed the faces of Shintafeng and the others, but they did not doubt it, for the arrival of a pill tribulation without any gain was unbelievable to them. For cultivators, a period of seclusion could be as short as a few days or as long as several years, decades, or even centuries. This could be problematic. Ning Qianxiu pondered before asking, do you perhaps know how long before that elder comes out of seclusion? If the time is not too long, we can wait. If it's too long, well, that's another matter. Mu Xingji glanced at Ning Qianxiu, realizing that he was quite straightforward, even to the point of speaking without thinking. His words made it seem as if meeting the junior uncle after he left seclusion would be an honor for the junior uncle. That was not a behavior to be encouraged. Dream on about meeting the junior uncle. With that thought, Mu Xingji said, the last time that elder was in seclusion, it lasted 10 years. We are not clear about this time. Shintafeng gave Ning Qianxiu a look, conveying some meaning, before bowing to Mu Xingji. Meeting an elder capable of triggering a pill tribulation is of course not something we can insist upon. It all depends on fate. Sect leader Mu, perhaps we could impose upon your sect for a few more days. Sect leader Shintu residing in our heavenly mechanism sect would be nothing less than a boon, something we would be so fortunate to host. How could it be an imposition? Mu Xingji returned the bow, sensing that these people would probably not give up until they met the junior uncle. This was a matter not even the sect master could decide on his own. They would have to consult the junior uncle. But since the junior uncle had said he wished to be in seclusion undisturbed for a few days, they would wait a few more before asking that as for the folks from the pill sect. Naturally, they would have to be put on hold in the following days. Li Cheng was engrossed in reading at the scripture repository. Initially focusing on records related to pills, he eventually moved on to read everything he could find. Meanwhile, the higher-ups of the pill sect were intensely studying the Emperor-grade spirit transforming Dan 5 days past, and Li Cheng had scoured the first 6 layers of the scripture repository, except for the cultivation techniques. Only then did he leave the repository. Elder 7, have you managed to handle the matter? As soon as he stepped out of the scripture repository, Li Cheng's spiritual sense reached out to 7th peak, looking for the 7th elder. The 7th elder had said it would be sorted by the next day, but now it was already the 6th. It was managed long ago, junior uncle. You've been in seclusion these past days, so I didn't dare to disturb you, 7th elder replied. Li Cheng's eyes lit up. His second disciple was ready. Come to the summit of 18th peak. Li Cheng sent the message and hurried towards the 18th peak. Before long, the 7th elder arrived with Ling Shi, landing a few yards away from Li Cheng. Li Cheng examined Ling Shi from head to toe. He saw her slender figure, graceful and elegant, with eyes like stars or the bright moon, long willow-shaped brows, a fine and upright nose, presenting an irresistibly touching visage. Female cultivators, nourished by nature's spiritual energy, are generally very beautiful. Ling Shi is descended from the Yin and Yang spirit clan, descendants of primordial spirits, and naturally bore an exquisitely beautiful face. Disciple Ling Shi greets master. Ling Shi, somewhat nervous, stepped forward and respectfully knelt down to perform the salutation to her master. Li Cheng understood. It seemed the first elder had already explained everything clearly to her. Accepting disciple successful, reward 2 enlightenment chances. Current remaining enlightenment chances, 2 times. Just then, the prompt Li Cheng had been anticipating sounded. Just like when he had taken Yun Tianxiong as a disciple, he was rewarded 2 chances as well. Li Cheng was secretly delighted. He now had a sure way to improve his formation skills. If he could use these 2 enlightenment chances to push his skills as an array master to the level of a 7th grade array master, that would be satisfying. Get up. I've roughly understood your situation. As my disciple, you need not feel scared or worried anymore, Li Cheng said with a smile in his eyes, not wanting to make the young girl too nervous. She was already nervous, and if he had a stern face, wouldn't she be even more so? Junior uncle, please take care of her. Ling Shi yearns for the alchemy Dao, and I hope that junior uncle can support her, said the first elder with clasped hands. Li Cheng glanced at the first elder, then shifted his gaze back to Ling Shi, speaking dubiously. I can see that the wood attribute of the spiritual energy is especially in tune with you. So why would you consider pursuing the alchemy Dao? The spiritual energy swirling around Ling Shi was mostly of the wood attribute, indicating that her wood spiritual root was stronger than her other roots. In such a case, pursuing the alchemy Dao was not a wise choice. Unless she could comprehend the law of the fire series or awaken some special constitution, she would have no advantage on the path of alchemy. To master, I just want to save people, Ling Shi said weakly. The first elder took over the explanation. Don't be fooled by her young age. Before she joined the sect, she might as well have crawled out from a pile of corpses. Perhaps after witnessing so much life and death, she became fixated on this idea. Li Cheng was rather indifferent. After all, you do best what you love. If she wanted to practice alchemy, then let her practice. As long as her comprehension wasn't bad, he was sure to reap a decent number of enlightenment chances. And as for teaching, Li Cheng would certainly not withhold anything. Just then, Mu Xingji came flying over in haste. His voice reached them from afar. Junior uncle, people from the Pill sect wish to meet you. Will you see them? Has it been 5 days already, and they haven't left? Li Cheng said in surprise. Mu Xingji landed in front of Li Cheng and shook his head slightly. They've been asking every day whether you've finished your seclusion. They seem to have no intention of leaving, probably because they want to ask how you managed to refine Emperor-grade divine pills. What probably? Definitely. The first elder spoke. Li Cheng took out a blank jade slip, infused his comprehension of the alchemy Dao into it, and handed it over to Ling Shi. Take a look at this teacher's insights first. We'll go over them later. The first elder's eyes lit up, and he couldn't help but swallow. Junior uncle, may I also have a look? Of course, you can have a look if you want. Sect leader Mu, let's go meet the people from the Pill sect first, Li Cheng said as he started to rise into the AI. Mu Xingji quickly followed. Junior uncle, the sect leader of the Pill sect, Shintafeng, is very cunning. His words are always full of traps, so be careful. Li Cheng looked at Mu Xingji. Did he try to trick you? He sure did. The day they arrived, after observing an Emperor-grade spirit transforming Dan, he asked me how many King-grade pills it generated. I felt that there had to be a trap, so I didn't answer directly. Mu Xingji continued. Li Cheng narrowed his eyes. This man has a sharp eye indeed, and he's an old fox. Oh, how do you figure, junior uncle? Mu Xingji grew curious. Just from that, junior uncle had deduced that Shintafeng was shrewd. Please like, share, and subscribe to the videos of Dimensional Diary. It will be a great motivation for me to make more videos like this. If you have any recommendations, feel free to express them in the comment section.